Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of hopsgeeknews, your home for comic books, movies, TV shows, and typically we feature a beer of the week. However, we're not drinking beer right now. We are here to talk about Daredevil Born Again, episode 7. We are going to recap it, so spoilers ahead. If you have not watched it yet, come back to this episode after watching it. But of course, first things first, man, make sure you go to Hopsgeek News on any social media platform, any podcasting platform. You give us a follow. You go hit the notification buttons. Make sure you never miss an episode, miss when we go live. Join our Patreon if you want to support the show. You know, we do monthly Patreon movie watch-alongs. We get early ad-free episodes up on there and so much more. I am Matt. With me, as always, is Lauren. And, Lauren, let's talk some Daredevil, episode 7. Now, like I said, spoilers. What did you think about the episode? Because I'm pretty sure we have different feelings about it. You're muted. What are we doing here? Daredevil's blind.
Daredevil can't see. I can't hear. So maybe you shouldn't speak. Hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil. I really liked it. I think that the use of the billy clubs has been a lot of fun because that's big in the comic books, and we really did not see that in the Netflix version. You see times where he gets like handed like sticks or something, but like the way he's doing the wraparound and the choking and the pulling. The only thing I thought was a little odd was the paintings and how he touched her face. And
well, okay, but that's a callback to the Netflix series. I think it was season 1. He used those powers to, like, with Nobu and touching the structures and stuff, he was able to figure out from there. So I think that was a callback.
I don't think so. I think that is a bit of a stretch. I think what he should have done is been like, okay, these are paintings. Okay, this feels like a person. Let me take a picture and send it to Cherry. And even though Cherry didn't want to help him, he like could have reluctantly been like, oh shit, that's Heather. Like, I feel like there could have been a different way for him to put the connection better together, because it's like he has a detriment. Like, he can't see pictures, he can't read his text messages. Like, there are things that get in his way. And I think that those should be highlighted, and that should become an issue. Like when he lost, we've seen him lose his powers more than once, when he lost his hearing, or when he had like the sinus blood clot or whatever and had to use the neti pot. And I think that those are what makes him stand out, because he's able to overcome this disability. So I think it's okay to highlight this disability sometimes. And I feel like they haven't done that at all this season.
I just think it's funny that you draw the line about a blind guy fighting crime at the ability to touch a painting's face. It's not his acrobatics. It's not his absolute getting his ass beat. It's not his blind.
But he can't see. He can't visually see. And like the one thing you need to be able to visually see is pictures.
I thought for sure they were going to use the whole world on fire bit that they kind of, what they talked about in the Netflix series, where he sees things like they're on fire. So that would have made more sense if they had gone that route, I guess. But I do agree. I will say that it was a stretch for me. And speaking of Cherry, I'm not a fan of Cherry. I wish we would have kept Malone, Officer Malone, was that his name from
Mahoney.
Mahoney? That's what it was.
Yeah.
I wish we would have kept Mahoney, because it would have made a lot more sense. Cherry, I don't care about him at all. So that's kind of where I'm at with him. But the billy clubs I do enjoy, especially when Officer Douchebag took a billy club to the face right off the bat. He just shows up and
says like shit or something. He's like, oh,
I love. He's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
It's like when your mom found you at 13 and you had to shut the door real quick, and so he just like throws the billy club and it hits him in the head. It's the funniest thing ever, because it feels like anytime this guy gets like any sort of screen time, he just gets punked by Matt, and it's the best thing ever in my opinion. And he's a douchebag, of course, but that was a problem. I feel like there wasn't a whole lot this episode, but there was. And also Matt's immediate reaction to getting asked about his scars. Oh, you wouldn't know how I got these scars. What if we have shower sex instead? And so he gives it to Heather, and just wait. You talking about choking, you just wait until Heather finds out he's got the billy clubs. She seems like she's into weird stuff. But
the shower thing, though, I do wonder how she'll react to when she finds out that he is who he is. But I mean, I thought that was a good excuse, when he said, it's embarrassing, sweetie. It was, because I'm sure blind people run into shit all the time. But I mean, the scars and scratches he has, like, that's not from running into stuff. You run into somebody swinging a bunch of knives. That's what he did.
Scars and it's from fall. Uh-oh. We good? You good?
I think so. I see you now.
All right. Continue. Yeah, that was weird. Okay.
I don't know what the
Continue your
last thing was
thought.
I said. What did I say? Oh, the scars. So I mean, I think it's normal for blind people to have scars from having. I mean, it's normal for normal people to have scars that can see. I run into crap all the time, and I have fine vision. But obviously, he's going to run into things more being blind. But he didn't run into somebody like. It's like okay, the scars on him. It's like he
It looks
ran
like you
into
got
the
hit by a
octopus.
car.
No, it's like he ran into the octopus chef in Monsters Inc. with like all the knives, like
Oh
swinging
yeah.
him around. It's like that's what he looks like.
He's got
And
some
then I
pretty gnarly scars. There's no way. Oh yeah, I just fell. Dude, your back's
And he was
broken. It's spinal.
actively bleeding too, like, there was
He
blood
was.
going down the drain in a psycho kinda way,
Yeah, and they play it off, and she hits him with the trauma thing. I'm very curious.
which is
She's
fair.
gonna find out. I really feel like she's gonna find out, probably from Wilson, because I also love.
Think he's gonna tell
So in the
everybody.
comic books with Muse, you never find out his identity. When they take his mask off, his face looks exactly the same. There's like no face there, and so I'm interested to see that. And they give him an identity, the Bastion, who, or I forget his first name, but
So
something
maybe he's
Bastion.
not the
And he was
real
obviously the kid from the
Muse.
book signing initially. And Fisk could not care less because he is in shambles right now that Daredevil's back. He does not care that Muse has an identity. He's just basically like, Daredevil's back. You
Well,
sure?
same with
It's
Cherry, he didn't
unconfirmed.
care that this like, the girl would have died, like, White Tiger's niece would have
She would have
died if
died. I
yeah.
love how everybody, like Cherry's mad at him for picking up the mantle of Daredevil again when the cops weren't doing anything. There were 60 plus killings. Nobody was doing anything, but oh yeah, sure. Let's get holier than thou, Officer Cherry, you bum. And I think Matt also kind of alludes, he makes a jab at him about being on the force and all that kind of stuff. And I rightfully so. I definitely agree with that. And in the comics, also Kirsten knows that Matt's Daredevil, so I'm wondering if that's going to come out this season to her as well.
Oh, the girl he works with?
Yeah, she knows that he's Daredevil because she teases him a lot in the comic books, and so there's that. But
Which one is she in
the
the
other,
comics? She's not the one in the wheelchair, is she?
I don't think so. I
Mm.
can't. Don't remember honestly off the top of my head which one. I just know that she is in the comics. She makes fun of him. She does know he's Daredevil right off the bat.
When
And
she basically said, like, "Tell me what's going on, like, I trust you
yeah,
guys, maybe you can trust me and loop me in." But, I mean, Cherry found out obviously accidentally, but I was surprised that he was so eager to help and then so eager to not help.
yeah, he
I
seemed
guess
like
just
he's
as
chill with hiding his identity and wanting to help Matt, but then as long as he's a lawyer, but all of a sudden you've got
I
problems, like
guess he
what?
just wants to do it by the book, I guess. I don't know. I mean, and like I get that to an extent, but at the same time, like Heather would have died, and White and Angela would have died. Like and Daredevil,
Yeah, how
Matt
many
even
more
said
people
he's
need
like,
to die?
I found this guy in one day. Okay, so going back to the Muse thing though, like you're saying, like he didn't have an identity in the comic that happened really fast. What if maybe this isn't the same Muse? Like, what
Oh,
if, and I know
okay.
I'm kind of going out there on a limb a little bit, but like this kid had no powers. He just had Taekwondo under his
He's
belt.
expert in Taekwondo, which I also didn't really like because he's supernatural powers in the comic books. And I
Right.
was wondering, they're like
So maybe this
dabbling
is,
in the supernatural side of things with Daredevil, but they don't fully want to go in. So I
I
have a
mean,
theory what I
done the
think might
hand
happen.
and they've done the big sky. Like, I feel like they've
I
gone,
What if
they've
he's
done
not
the
dead?
immortal Iron Fist. Right. So,
He could, because in the comics right now, Muse is in hell. So
oh,
what if Muse, because I think there was something like there was somebody who
maybe,
saw Muse on set or his stunt double on set or something like that for season 2. So I'm curious, like either there's a copycat, sure, or what if Muse isn't actually dead and they are leaning into his supernatural abilities and he's not, you know what I'm saying? That we thought he was shot up, which we'll get to that whole sequence soon. I'm kind of hoping he's not dead because they were really building him up like this big creepy bad guy only to kind of barely get screen time with him and then boom, he's dead just like that. And
well, if
I
he
didn't
is, who's going to be in the next two? Because, I mean, is it just going to be Fisk versus Daredevil, which I feel like we
I
have a big
think it
time left?
is.
And we've only
It's going
seen
to be,
Punisher once.
well, I think now Punisher and Karen, well, we already see Punisher and Dex are coming back next couple episodes. I know for a fact that Punisher is going to be coming back, and I'm pretty sure the two of them are working together because the anti-vigilante task force, how this season's going to wrap up is Fisk going after the two. And I'm really curious if they're going to go the route that Fisk lets people know who Daredevil really is. I'm very curious into that, but I know for a fact that the seasons setting up with the anti-vigilante task force taking full control, right, and going after those two, and it's probably gonna end on a cliffhanger, in my opinion. So I know that
Oh
episode
yeah.
7 was
Well,
essentially the last episode that was kind of from the when they had to redo
from
everything.
Disney. Yeah.
It was, and now the last 2 episodes are from the people that took over and are doing the next season as well.
So I do wonder how much of a cliffhanger there will be, solely because of what we learned this weekend at GalaxyCon when Vincent D'Onofrio was on stage and he said they found out at D23 that they had gotten greenlit for season 2. And I thought at
Oh,
that
yeah.
point
That's right.
season
That's a good
1 was
point.
already done filming, but I don't know that I don't know that, maybe it was a past. I don't know the specifics on that, but I would hope that they wouldn't leave it completely open. But a lot of the, even
Well,
Moon
it could
Knight
have been one
left
of
a
those we left it.
cliffhanger.
Yeah, I'm saying, like, how many times have we seen a show, Santa Clarita Diet, that ends on a cliffhanger?
This is different. Even with Eternals, like they're going to have to do something because this isn't just a standalone show.
Disney
This is
said,
a
"Are
show.
they?"
So they have to acknowledge something in some way or another, even if it's just like a throwaway line, like, well, King's taken care of for now by Owen Wilson. It's like, there's got to be something. So they can't just,
I don't
I don't know.
disagree with that. I definitely don't disagree with that. I'm not sure because it seems, I don't know. I guess we'll see. But Fisk is kind of melting down this whole time with his guy Buck,
Oh, I like the end
and
of that though, where we
so
thought Vanessa was going off book.
oh yeah, we'll
And
get to
as
that in a second. I
soon
want to
as,
talk about the Heather
okay, sorry.
therapy.
Okay.
We'll go in sequence. So Heather meets with Mute, and I thought the actor, Hayden Doolin, I believe his name is, did a really phenomenal job talking, and then he turned into like that dark, twisted out of nowhere, and you can kind of feel the tension slowly build. And she realizes that he's Muse, and he takes his nosebleed and he makes the canvas painting, and that, not to mention that
It's a very
the
convenient nosebleed.
right, the doctor also previously saw that there was a piece of canvas left behind that was part of his costume. So his costume is made out of canvas, which I think is pretty gnarly. But he was trained by like some taekwondo super dude, and the fact that he's very highly trained in taekwondo, I thought was makes sense. They had to give a reason why he could fight Daredevil. And so he gets in the costume. He cuts her wrist. Like that slow cutting of her wrist and arm was actually pretty gnarly. I was like,
Yeah,
dang,
and you could
that's,
see it like pulsing the blood out. Yeah.
yeah, that was gnarly. And then I absolutely love when Matt comes crashing through that window, broad daylight, in the fight sequence. I personally really enjoyed the fight sequence between the two. And then Matt, I thought he was shot, but instead it was Matt with his billy clubs when he was going after with the knife to Heather. He got the billy club right in his arm, and that was wow. I will say
Yeah.
that was crazy.
Yeah, no, I love what they're doing with that. And I love the crash in scene. And it's funny too, because they're like, we're gonna say that this was the vigilante task force, and people are like, we saw Daredevil fly through the window.
Fake news. Nope, it's all fake news. Yeah, Daredevil gets away. People, the BB report is, hey, no, we saw Daredevil, which I actually thought was pretty crazy too, because she goes to Daniel, Fisk's office, and Daniel's sitting there, and he really channels his dad in this scene where he's, no, you don't want your
Playing with
life
his
ruined.
ring too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he basically blackmails her into, no, you didn't see Daredevil. It was the anti-vigilante task force. And you even saw Cole North kind of hesitate a little bit with the, do I want to accept this? Because I know he's he's a bit of a good guy in the comic books as well.
Yeah, he doesn't seem black and white.
No, so I think he's going to come around. So I'm interested to see how far we go with him into the like one side before he kind of breaks apart. We'll see what happens with him. The fight was great. Heather shoots up, Muse. He's on the canvas. Matt kind of spreads his bullet around in a gnarly way and goes to save Heather, who I thought Heather was dead. I personally thought it would have been great if Heather died.
There
But
was a second I thought she was dead because everybody kept saying Muse was going to kill her.
yeah,
And what was her deal? She took way too long to say Karen. Is she like jealous of Karen? That more so makes me
I
think
think
that
she
Matt and Karen
is.
were dating.
Yeah, I definitely think she's a little bit jealous because, early on in the episode, she was talking about, his life. He goes, it feels fake. Basically, if
She's like,
living
are
a
we
fake life
fake?
without Karen and Foggy,
Yeah.
which I could definitely see. Matt's,
Yes.
he doesn't have his part. There's a piece of him missing.
She
Very
seemed like she was
valid.
being a little jealous and illogical, and then she got very matter of fact and seemed very
I definitely think she
understanding, and
was
they had a
jealous
cute
about the
scene.
Karen
Yeah.
bit. Yeah. And then in the hospital, she was, hey, he said my name. How does he know my name? Wonder what that's all
Well,
about. And he got
How
cut
do
on the
you know
leg
where you
too.
live? Okay. I felt like they threw that line in because they wanted her to have a connection to try to start putting the pieces together, figuring out it's Matt.
Yeah,
But I think that's complete BS because if he went to her freaking workplace. He knew where he was going. He didn't just like smell out Muse.
he could have. You don't know
He
his
could have,
powers.
but she doesn't know that he could have. Like they figured out like Heather, and for all she knows, he heard it on like a police scanner or something
Yeah,
because they
that's
were
true.
all going. I mean, the sirens were going like.
Yeah.
Plus, she doesn't know he's blind. It's her therapist office. I'm sure she has a diploma on the wall.
Yeah,
Like
she has all that stuff kind of up there.
that
Yeah,
line didn't
without a
make
doubt.
sense to me. I think
It,
that that was just a reach.
agreed, but a lot of people seem to be confused about the Vanessa text about Wilson being alone. I can almost
She set
guarantee
him up.
you it was setting Luca up.
Yeah,
There was no way
100%.
she wasn't
She's
going to
like,
kill
see if my wife
Wilson.
wants me to bring home dinner. Yeah.
Yeah, she was clearly sending him there because he got too out of control, and she's also trying to push Wilson back into the Kingpin realm, especially with Daredevil back
And when is
again.
he ever alone, especially now that he's mayor?
No, it was
Yeah.
very convenient. He's alone.
The second I
Meanwhile,
saw him sitting there, I'm like, oh, she set him up. He's
oh
dead.
yeah, oh he's alone. I knew right off the bat, there's no way. And then Buck shoots him a couple times, which I
That
thought
was
was
a good
gnarly.
shot.
I mean, really, like, was he some sort
Thank
of
you,
special
Buck.
forces? What was or whatever? And
I know. I thought this was just some like political guy.
I thought so too. I'm curious to see what his background is. Is he almost like a Catch from Supernatural, almost, where he has
Yeah, right. He has
special
cleanup messes.
forces or
He's
whatever?
Wesley's cousin. That's what you're gonna find out.
Twice removed.
There you go.
I do obviously really agree that that's what's happening there. I didn't hate the episode. I just don't like what they did with Muse. So I'm kind of hoping that's not the be all end all of Muse and we do get more. And we only have 2 episodes left. I'm honestly kind of sad about that. It sucks that there's only 2 episodes left, but
We got
we'll see
another
how it wraps
season
up.
next year. Yeah.
We do. And then we have Andor
Yeah, because
as
we've been
well.
running
So,
on a lot of Daredevil lately, rewatching the shows and
oh, I know. What am I going to
gotten
do?
a lot of Charlie. We're gonna have to find out if Charlie Cox is in anything other than Daredevil.
I know, but this is good because we go right from Daredevil, and then next weekend starts The Last of Us season 2. So our next episode is recapping season 1 of The Last of Us, and then we go into Andor right after. Andor starts the end of April, just about. So the week after that, we
It's
are
the
going to be talking
22nd.
Andor. Yes, I believe so.
Probably right after Daredevil ends.
So we're pretty much good until May. And then May 4th, we saw something get announced, which was Tales from, oh my gosh, I totally forgot. The
Tales of
Underworld.
the Jedi.
Tales of the Underworld. No, it was Tales of the Underworld with
Oh,
Asajj
my bad.
Ventress and Cad Bane. And so we're going to be living pretty good, at least until summertime. Thunderbolt's coming out May. Superman,
will be in
Ironheart, Jurassic Park. I so weirdly kind of excited for Jurassic Park.
Is it Jurassic Park? It's not Jurassic World?
It's
Jurassic Universe.
Jurassic is back.
Jurassic.
And then we get Fantastic Four. So we're going to be going pretty. And before you know it, it's Halloween season again. So make sure you do us a favor and go ahead, like, subscribe, share, follow. Let us know what you thought about Daredevil episode 7. We will be probably wrapping up the final 2 episodes together because I am going to be on vacation next week, not able to record. So we'll be pre-recording, The Last of Us and Andor to release. And then we'll be back once Daredevil wraps up to discuss episodes 8 and 9 and how we thought about the season as a whole. But like I said, make sure you hit the notification button. We will see you guys next time. Cheers.